Spain isn't only famous for wonderful music, bullfighting, and some of the best weather on the planet, there is also a creepy side to the country's history. Just like everywhere else in the world, there have been some urban legends that have cemented themselves into the country's history, and for today's list we're going to be doing a deep dive into a specific city to find out what ghostly secrets are locked away there. Hello again, most amazing Top 10 family, I am your host JAJA, and for today's list we'll be counting down the top 10 scary Madrid urban legends. If any of you at home are interested in checking out some more most amazing top 10 content, you should check us out on Instagram and Facebook. There is a ton of extra content over there for you guys to check out, and make sure you stick around until the end of this video because I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts, which you guys love so much. And without taking any longer, let's get into this list. Coming in at number 10, we have El CUCO. It doesn't matter where you go in the world, every culture has some sort of boogeyman that they use to make kids stay in line. It seems that the fastest and most efficient form of parenting is fear. El CUCO is a Spanish version of said boogeyman, and it would walk the streets at night and take kids who haven't been listening to their parents. If he finds you, he will stuff you into a cloth bag and then take you back to his lair where he'll buy you a PlayStation 5. Just kidding, he eats you and then moves on to the next kid who didn't clean his room when he was told. This is one that would keep kids looking under their bed at night and probably stop them from stealing that candy bar they so desperately wanted. Coming in at number 9, we have the girl on the curve. You see someone hitchhiking at night, you now have two options. You can help them because they seem like they're lost. I mean, it's someone walking around at night on the side of the road. They clearly need a helping hand. Or you could keep on driving because you can't trust someone wandering around at night. They might try and murder you. Well, the girl on the curve is a story that only affects those of us that would pull over to aid that stranger. The story goes like this. There's a girl sitting on the side of the road in the middle of the night. A car drives by and sees the girl. This driver pulls over and he decides that he's going to help this poor girl. Well, the girl gets in the car, and after sitting in the passenger seat silent for a few moments, she warns the driver that they should be careful on the next turn because it's very dangerous. When the driver asks our mystery lady how she knows this, she says, "This is the spot where I died." He looks back at the girl and she is gone. Well, if there's going to be a ghost, I'm happy it's a helpful ghost. Coming at number 8, we have RATONCITO PEREZ. I never thought about what the mirror versions of other urban legends would be, but in North America we have the Tooth Fairy. She comes in and takes her teeth and then leaves behind a little cash. Why? I have never actually asked that question because I just wanted the money, as are most things in life. Well, RATONCITO PEREZ is the Spanish version of the Tooth Fairy, and he's a little rat that will come and visit kids after they have lost a tooth. Now, is this one scary? To me, no, and it's not supposed to be scary, but I threw it on the list because there are a ton of people out there who are terrified of rats. They think that they are the grossest thing on the planet, so the idea of losing your tooth and how it would lead to a little rat boy coming to visit you would scare some people to death. Coming at number 7, we have the Blade Dancer. Have you ever heard of the game 5-Finger Fillet? Well, it's a very strange game where someone will open their hand wide and put it on a table. They will then take a knife and dance the knife in between their fingers as fast as they can and hope they don't cut one of their fingers off. I think this game was invented before we had Netflix. Well, there is a legend in Madrid of the Blade Dancer, someone who walks the streets and challenges people to a game of 5-Finger Fillet. If you can beat him, then he will grant you one wish, but if you lose, he will take something from you that you will definitely miss and can never get back. Yeah, that's gonna be a no for me, dog. Anyone who challenges you to a weird game for an extremely high price is for sure insanely good at the game, and for some reason this guy sounds like he also has magical powers. I'll keep my wishes to myself. Thank you very much. Coming in at number 6, we have the bull assassin. Bullfighting is a very controversial form of entertainment, not because people are putting themselves in danger, but because the bulls are brutally killed in the process, and they typically use juvenile bulls for the matches. It's definitely not the most wholesome thing in the world. You're not going to see the next Pixar movie about bullfighting. Well, because of how controversial this sport is, there have been many people who have stood up against bullfighting, and this is where the legend of the bull assassin came from. There was a rumor that someone was going around and killing people who attended bullfighting matches. This person wore a long black cloak and would stab people in the back in a similar fashion to the way that the bulls are stabbed. This would be a very poetic way to kill the person. Now, there has never actually been a murder linked to the bull assassin. Most people think that this was just a rumor cooked up to make people more afraid to go to bullfights. Coming in at number 5, we have the Little Grave Robbers. This sounds like Tim Burton made another kids movie. Well, it's far from that. The story is actually very gruesome. Like most urban legends, there's no year attached to it, but we can assume that this was a very, very long time ago. The story is of two young boys who were in the game of freaking people out. They would go out of their way to try and get people uncomfortable and scare their friends. One day, they decided the best way to do this was with a skeleton, but here's the thing, this is the time before Amazon, so you couldn't just order a skeleton online. The boys decided that the best way to get a skeleton would be to head to the cemetery at night and start digging up a dead body. If you're going hard at something, you might as well go all the way. So that night they went on a little mission when the graveyard was empty, but when they finally made it to the ghostly remains, they were too excited. The boys started shouting, and this noise could be heard by the surrounding houses, but they didn't believe that it was a couple of kids. They thought it was actually zombies crawling out of their graves. So they went and attacked the boys and accidentally killed them, and then buried them in the very grave that they dug up. It's said that these boys still haunt that graveyard. Coming in at number 4, we have VERONICA JAJA, or VERONICA JAJA. I guess it's VERONICA JAJA because we're speaking in Spanish for this one. If you thought Bloody Mary and Candyman were the only ones trying to kill you when you went to peek in the mirror, then you are wrong. VERONICA JAJA is basically the Spanish version of this classic horror trope. Go into the bathroom, close the door, turn off the lights, light a candle, and then say VERONICA JAJA into the mirror 3 times. It's one of those horror tropes that make you say, that's not real, but then when you ask someone to do it, they're like, no way, I'm not going to do that, are you crazy? Really, there's only one way to find out if this urban legend is in fact real. You have to trick one of your friends into doing it and see if they come out dead. Coming in at number 3, we have the Madrid subway rats. More rats! Well, this story is kind of a bummer. The legend says that if you watch the last train go by in the Madrid subway, you will see a bunch of rats chasing it. Why is this? Well, because they say the rats are the souls of the people who died on the track. They are chasing the train in the hopes that it will take them out of their new rat bodies and back into the land of the humans. Rat incarnation isn't really the way I want to spend my next life. Coming in at number 2, we have the cleaning devil. Now, I couldn't find too much detail on this one, but I thought it was so hilarious, so I had to put it on this list. I read that a rumor got started about a popular Spanish cleaning product company. The rumor was that they worshipped the devil to increase their sales. What the hell is going on? People said that if you bought the product, it would bring bad fortune into your house and maybe even death. This was all because the devil's essence was now in the product. Where did this rumor come from? Nobody knows. Maybe it was the church trying to get people convinced that the devil was in their home so they could do more blessings that year. And coming in at the number 1 spot, we have the Blind Maiden. Alright, time to pull in a more modern urban legend. Let's throw out the girl on the side of the road and bring in some demons hiding in the internet. The Blind Maiden was an urban legend flying around Spain a few years ago. It said that if you go into a website called blindmaiden.com, that you could witness the ultimate horror. The legend didn't say anything about if you typed Blind Maiden into Google because you were too lazy to type .com, but it would probably still take you to the website. Well, once you arrived there would be a series of questions that you would have to answer to see if you were ready to venture in and see the ultimate horror. You would also be asked to only go to the website when you were sitting in the dark and when the clock struck midnight. If you did this properly and then hit enter, the website would open up and show you hundreds of children who had their eyes removed from their head. And that wasn't even the worst of it. After this flashcard game from hell, the website would ask you again if you are truly ready to see the ultimate horror. If you accepted, then the Blind Maiden would visit you in that moment. She would kill you, remove your eyes, and finally she would snap a picture of your eyeless, lifeless body and add it to the slideshow. I just hope she would get the lighting right. Alright everyone, that has been our list, and as promised, I'm going to be doing some more pet shoutouts. Remember, if you want me to shout out your pet, you can hit me up on Instagram. I pick new pets every day, and if you don't get picked one day, you can message back another day. I usually pick who's messaged most recently, and if it takes me a little while to get back to you, I'm very sorry. I have a lot of these to do. Without taking any longer, let's shout out some pets. First up, we have Burrito, and he is really loving that bed. Then we have Teddy, who looks like a big chonker. After that, we have Lily, who's all wrapped up in her blanket. Next is Jeremy in a very nice close-up shot. And to close it out, we have Dexter with a big smile. Alright everyone, that has been our list. Thank you all so much for tuning in. As always, I would love it if you could like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell. Until next time, I've been your host, Jada, and keep checking out this spooky content. Bye. Well, Ratoncito Perez is the Spanish version of the Tooth Fairy. Well, Ratoncito Perez is the... Ratoncito Perez is the... The story goes like this. There's a girl sitting on the... So, I never thought about the mirror versions of... I never thought if you're going to be... If you're going to be... If you're... It's one of those things that make you... It's one of those things that...